So boom, let's see what we got. I wonder what's left on this rotisserie chicken here. I'm just gonna warm this sucker up. Eat this whole bird. Should I do it like that? Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna put the whole thing in there. It doesn't matter. You came back, Hara. Get my white rice together, threw some chicken in there. White rice, ready to go at all times. That sounds really complicated. I'm not good with like making like recipes and stuff like that. I just cook stuff up and eat it. He's like, I got time. Today I got time. A little barbecue sauce. Throw in there. Heat that up. Eat what's left on that bird. Man, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I mean, I can make certain foods, but I guess I wouldn't say I enjoy cooking. But I do like, I mean, I have my own little spaghetti recipe or like my own little whatever chili recipe. I mean, I like that stuff. So, but I wouldn't say like I enjoy cooking. I just kind of do it because I have to, I guess. We're about to find out how much meat is left on this bird. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't eat like other people. But I think that goes back to like how I grew up and everything, like I grew up in a way that I didn't have a choice of what I got to eat. And sometimes we ate horrible food and sometimes we just ate whatever was on the table and sometimes we ate good food. It's just you ate what was in front of you. That was it. What do you mean it's good to be different to everyone else? Yeah, I've kind of seen that happen before. Like, I think sometimes with like popularity, when people become popular, they have to sell out to the system. They just become a version of their former selves, like that has to be acceptable to the public. I'm gonna move this. Hopefully this works out. Oh my gosh. Dude, my legs are so sore from yesterday. Just insanely sore. Got chicken wings. Well, he's got dishes in the sink, I'll tell you that much. So I must be cooking something if I always have dishes in the sink. Oh my God. That rice. That rice is so hot. Yeah, man, that's why I really preach like daily exercises, just like me, right in front of the phone. You can do daily exercises right in front of the phone, right in front of the TV, wherever you're at. Sometimes you can't get outside or you can't get to a machine. I'm really lucky I got that elliptical downstairs. Once I started using that elliptical, I could get, an hour of cardio in no matter what. I've always thought about buying my own treadmills or something, but just never got around to it. I always go to a gym or something. Look at this bird, bro. Stripping it down to nothing. Yeah, that's awesome. If you can go out to the beach every day, man, I'd love to live on the beach. Let me know if you need a roommate. That's one thing I've never been able to do is like cold plunge stuff. I've always wanted to do it. Man, it's such a shock to my system. What kind of fishing is it? Like, what do you fish for? Like, what all is in there? Obviously, I'm really interested in fishing. I think I'd be down to catch some shark. I'd really like to eat some shark too. I don't use hot sauce, but I use barbecue sauce on everything. I've stripped this bird down to nothing, bro. There's nothing left on it. I'm eating every little piece of it. Like Cat Williams says, from the rooter to the tutor, eat the whole thing. I don't know what a cob is. A COB? I don't know what it is. I think this bad boy's done. I think I got it all, boys. Hands are all gross. Wow. Yeah, the drum is interesting because the drum is like a perch and it'll just grow to whatever environment it has to grow in. Yeah, those rotisserie chicken is good, dude. It's like you just stop, grab a bird, and just tear it up. Yeah, the Asian guys here call it the silver bass. Like, you caught silver bass. I'm like, no, it ain't no bass. Like, yeah, it is silver bass. My shirt's already soaked with sweat. My favorite coworker. I really don't have any favorite coworkers. It's kind of like saying, who's my best friend? I'm like, you guys don't notice, there's not a lot of people around me. I'm a people person. I think the problem is I don't know if it's like, I don't know. I'm just a genuine person. Like, I'm a very straightforward, genuine person. And what I found is most people are not. And so when I get around people and I tell real stories and I really do the things I say I'm going to do and I show that I'm a stand up person, they don't like me because I'm not like them. Yeah, but, at different times in my life, I've been the bad guy. I got to admit that. Like, there were times I did things I didn't know I was doing wrong. But, like college roommates and stuff, like, these guys were disrespectful, man. Like, just didn't, some of the things didn't add up. Like, why would you ask me to be your college roommate and then disrespect me? It just doesn't make sense. No, I just eat, man. I don't really eat like when I eat. I don't really eat for satisfaction. I just eat. It doesn't matter. But yeah, dude. Again, but going back to it, I do have to admit that there was times where I did things unknowingly, but I would never hurt my friends knowing I was hurting them, or I would never do something to them disres if you're my friend, I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not comparing myself to you. I'm not battling with you. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not comparing myself to you in any way. If anything, I'm trying to find people to put in my life to complement my life. But for some reason, people take that as competition, like I'm trying to be in competition with somebody or something. There's a barbecue sauce I've been using. It's been pretty damn good. I think I did get it from Walmart, but whatever. So anyways, I was gonna say, I like this. There's like a certain meme. Some of these memes are kind of true. A lot of them, I think they're kind of manufactured, like Hallmark cards, but there's a meme that says, when you treat people like they treat you, all of a sudden they don't like you anymore. And it's so true. It's like, I've had so many friends in my life that I treat really well and then they disrespect me. And then when I treat them how they treat me, then all of a sudden I'm the bad guy. And I'm not with it. So I believe in natural selection. I think that sometimes things naturally drift apart, fall apart the way it was supposed to. I do have a friend who believes in enemies. He's like, if you don't have a lot of enemies, you're not doing shit with your life. That's my buddy lives by that. You're absolutely right, dude. Like, accountability is huge with me. And if I ever felt I did something wrong, or again, if I was disrespectful to somebody, I always try to correct it. Like, I always try to do something to let them know, like, I really do care about you and I'm sorry I did this or whatever. But I would never knowingly hurt somebody that was close to me. Um, yeah, I wouldn't go for it. I wouldn't do it. But I've had it happen to me. I start talking to some girl, and then somebody I know, like a good friend of mine, they liked her or something, and so they go all out to get her. I'm like, you can have her, bro. I thought we were cool, but guess not. Just weird stuff, things like that. But once again, I admit, I am the bad guy in some of these stories. I did some things that, unknowingly, I did a few things that probably weren't cool. But more importantly, I took accountability for those things. Try to correct it. Yeah, and I got to admit that I have a tendency to put myself in positions that I thought I belonged, but I didn't belong. So unless I get a hint of some sort that I don't belong there, I won't leave. Um, but then on another note, there's been times where I just walk away. Like, I've had really close friends and I just see myself out of that group. And, then it's 2 or 3 years later, they're like, whatever happened to you? Like, well, you didn't notice. I just left. Like, and if they don't notice you're gone, maybe they weren't really your friends. Yeah, that's some hateful stuff. But honestly, that's the world we're living in right now. I mean, a lot of like role reversals have changed. It used to be men usually had like, there was like a standard that you lived by, and those standards are long gone, bro. Yep. That's how it goes sometimes, man. But hopefully we live and learn, right? Like, I've made a lot of mistakes. I've apologized. I have learned from my mistakes, and it's all we can do, man, is live and learn, move on. Chicken and rice, complete. I didn't get as much chicken as I wanted, but whatever. It is it's almost 8:45 here. I still need to go to the store. Well, I can't tell you exactly how to get over heartbreak, but I can tell you what not to do, because this is what all the goofballs tell you is they tell you, oh, she broke up with you, go jump in bed with another girl, or like, oh, just go on to the next person, blah, blah, blah. Well, I've learned that doesn't work because if there's any chance in hell you're going to get back with that person, you better not be with somebody new, because when that person comes back and they find out you've been with somebody else, they're going to be pissed. So I think that's a good measure of like how people care about each other is through commitment, even if you're broken up, whatever. So usually I give it a little time. I don't know. I just think that this is going to sound really cheesy because I'm a cheesy kind of person, but you got to go with what your heart tells you, man. If you're in love with somebody, you really care about them, just kind of wait it out. Try, like, make the effort. If they don't make the effort, I get it. Well, you got to walk away. But that doesn't mean you have to just change your whole life because somebody walked away from you. Just try to fill your time properly, you know, maybe take a little break, a little breather, and get back on that path, man. That's your path. Follow your path. I'll say this for sure, and I mean, again, this is my opinion. You guys can take it however you want. But if you really fall in love with somebody, I don't think that person ever leaves you. No matter what happens, I don't think you never really get over that person. You never really want to be apart from that person. All the people that I fell in love with, if those people called me right now, I'd pick up the phone to them. I don't care what happened in the end. I still care about those people. It's just, you had a disagreement. You know, 90% of your relationship was great. 10% of it was bad. So overwhelmingly, you have to think about the 90%. And that's the way I look at it. And I've been a very fortunate person in this area, so it is what it is. Right. You're absolutely right, dude. Like, all these independent women and all these guys who don't need girls and blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is this: we were made for each other. That's the birds and the bees. That's the bears and the lions and the monkeys are all the same. Fish, everything. We were made for each other. So um, there's no way around it. There's no way around it. We were made for each other. So all this idea of everybody doing it alone is wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Yeah, that's a tough one, bro. That's a tough one. Um, this is what I got to say to that. In my opinion, you can only love one person at a time. Now, have I faulted in this area? Yes, I have. But you have to be committed and dedicated to the person you're with. And that's all there is to it. You can still care about that other person. It's just all your efforts have to go in one direction, or you're losing the fight. As soon as you reserve energy for somebody else, you're losing the fight, in my opinion. But I think I'm hardcore all the way around, so that's just the way I function. Yeah, I mean, and that's a whole nother level. The kid thing is a whole other level. Like, when you have kids together, man, that is a whole other dynamic. But the sad thing is we have so many people, men and women, not just one or the other, but so many people are weaponizing the relationships and weaponizing their children against each other. It's just terrible. If you have children together, you should be trying to work together. That's the birds and the bees. One goes and gets the food, the other one brings the food back to the nest while this person watches the eggs. That's how it goes, man. It's nature at its finest, but people have messed it all up. What I'm saying is, that's a tough one to tackle, but I'm going to say you can have love for other people and you can be in love with someone, but you got to know where your head is and you got to know where your heart is. If your heart is with somebody else, then you can't love anybody else. It doesn't work. Again, as soon as you start to reserve energy, or you start to give your energy to someone else, you might as well start counting your days, because it's over. It doesn't take a lot to break some people up. I mean, look at us. We're still talking about, I know we've had this conversation, but we're still talking about my high school girlfriend, which is hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. And what's funny is sometimes I'm talking to you guys and she's like texting me and it comes in at the top. So you guys are on the bottom and she's on the top. And she's like, why are you talking about me? I'm like, well, I'm not talking about you. Just kind of came up in conversation. But I don't know. I think it's funny. I think it's really funny. But yeah, these topics are very they're very real and genuine, and I don't short anybody. I mean, guy, girl, if you're gay, whatever you are, I mean, you can have love for your dog, whatever, just not, you know what I'm saying. But you got to know where your heart is. You got to know where your head is. You got to put everything in one direction when it comes to a relationship. Yeah, Hara, I can really relate. Like, I want to say a lot of stuff here that I just can't say because it's live, but I can really relate, man. Like, but this is what's so important about relationships is what's so important about relationships is you're going to learn from the other person. You're going to learn good habits, you're going to learn bad habits. And for every relationship, you got to take those good habits with you. And I was just fortunate to meet a great woman who showed me what it was, what it meant. And that was the rest of my life. After that, I had the blueprint and I was good. It's really funny to talk about it right now too. Like, oh my gosh. It's because it's so personal, Yeah, dude, I've been there plenty of times. These topics go pretty deep, and the thing is, I have to be careful sometimes. I'm a very open person, so I am telling you guys the truth. It's just I can't really say names and I can't go in depth because those people will know who I'm talking about. You never know, they might be. And I've had that situation happen before. I had somebody talking to me on Instagram that was one of my ex-girlfriends, and they had a fake profile. And they would talk to me constantly, all the time. And then I found out who they were, and I was like, why didn't you just tell me? Why didn't you just... Stupid. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. I like serious conversation too. I was actually going to throw in a tidbit for you guys. This will be a good chunk of information for you guys. We're talking about falling in love, and I met a woman, great woman. I knew her for years. When I say years, I knew her for 15 years, probably before we ever got into a relationship. And then we got in a relationship. I was with her for 8 years. So the kicker to this is she had a daughter, and clearly the daughter wasn't mine. And I never thought I could love a kid like that, and I thought, I could be with her and help her raise a kid, but I never knew what kind of attachment I would end up having to her daughter. And that is love in a nutshell. I mean, sometimes it just comes out of nowhere and it just grabs a hold of you and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, there's some guys don't, and I think that some guys have this, like, I've always been around tough guys, like fighters, football players, wrestlers, all these, I've been an athlete. So I get all these guys, oh man, you don't need her, bro. Like, you got all these girls, da 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 da. Most of those guys never make it. They end up divorced. They end up with multiple children, paying crazy child support, and they end up getting their house taken away, their car taken away. Like, these guys that talk like that, most of those guys never make it. I mean, I think it's very important. Like I said, to me, it's the birds and the bees talk. Like, we're the only animals on the planet that have a brain, but yet we can't figure out it takes two to raise a child. Like, it takes two to live this life. Like, some people just don't make sense sometimes. I got to move around this counter though. My legs are so sore. Oh. I think it's a little deep, guys. I think we got to change it. We got to change the topics. It's too deep. I'm gonna move this over here. I won't say metal per se, but growing up, rock music was huge. Rock music was like the thing. So I'm a big like 80s rock guy. Like White Snake and Great White, AC/DC, Metallica, all those rock bands. I get it. All animals have a brain. What I'm saying is we're the only ones that have the capacity to know what's right and wrong, but we don't know how to stay with somebody, where animals clearly have it figured out. It takes two. It takes two to raise children. It takes two. It takes two to do everything. That's what we were made to do. We're made to be together. That's how it goes. Right, that's what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is, well, zebras have a herd. You know what I mean? Like, they understand that it takes other animals to live and to get along and to raise their children, and they have a system. We don't. That's what I'm saying, bro. Pretty much every animal on this planet knows you stick together, you raise your kids, you live your life. We don't. We're like, oh no, I could do it on my own, man. I don't need that hoe, blah, blah, blah. Then you end up crying in the shower, Mike. I said animals, not insects. And we have some of those behaviors today in our society. I think females are trying to eat men alive, and men aren't going for it. I think men are on the backlash. Men are really coming back right now, man. They're not having it anymore. Like, you're being real problematic right now. Lions eat the cubs of other males so that they have dominant males. That's the truth to that. Lions will eat another lion's cubs. That's so that their line continues. Pretty simple. Yes, I have. There was a guy attacked me in the mall. It was pretty wild. Zane, you're back. I was kind of at the height of the UFC thing, and I went to the mall. I was just doing some regular shopping, and I went to the shoe store and got some new running shoes. And when I walked out of the store, this guy, he's really staring at me. He's a big guy too. He's really big. He's like 6'1", probably 240, 250, big guy. And at that time, I was in good shape. I was like 195 pounds, maybe 200 pounds. So I was pretty small, but lean, you know. And came out of the shoe store, I saw this guy looking at me. And just so everybody knows, normally I carry, so I wasn't worried about that. But the guy approached me and he's like, hey man, will you sign this autograph? Will you autograph this photo for me? And he reached in his bag and he pulled out this photo. And so it was a picture of me, but he already had written on it like all this derogatory stuff. And when I saw that, I took a step back from him and I was like, hey buddy, I don't know what you're trying to do, but you need to get away from me or whatever. And I was very fortunate. When I looked around, I saw there was like a security camera there. So I stepped in front of the security camera, and the guy, he attacked me. He started screaming and yelling at me. He attacked me, and I had to fend him off. So when the police got there, I was like, there's a security camera right there. They watched the security surveillance, and it was it. It was over. But yeah, I mean, there's been a few situations like that. Women too. I've had a couple women stalkers. I had a couple male stalkers and a couple women stalkers. But yeah, it's very interesting, man. Especially in public places. I have to remind people sometimes, like, hey, especially like I've been out to dinner with my family or friends or somebody really close to me, my girlfriend or, you know, whatever. And I've had people just like walk up to my dinner table and try to sit down next to me and like try to talk to me. And I'm like, listen, I don't know what you're trying to do, but like, if you don't get away from me, there's gonna be a real problem because, I'm gonna protect the people that I'm with. Well, guys, one thing I can tell you, being fit, like just having, like taking care of yourself and being fit is one step closer. So that's part of it. I'll tell you that right away. Well, I do live in my hometown, so people do recognize me here, but you'd be surprised. I go places and people will walk up to me and be like, "Hey, man, are you so and so?" I think the last time it happened to me, I was in Des Moines, and that's about 3 hours away from me. But I've been everywhere. I mean, Mexico, Florida. Um, I got really surprised. I was in Canada. Somebody walked up to me on the street and was like, "Are you so and so?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh my God." But that was about 2, 3, that was about 3 years ago, I think. Well, listen, guys, it's like exactly 9 p.m. It's 8:58. I got to run to the store. I'm still soaking wet from my cardio routine. I got to rinse off, run to the store. Maybe I could come back and do a live later or something. Dude, that's a keeper, Mike. Did you stay with her or did you run her over? Usually, what I do, like if I'm with other people, I usually just ask that person to wait till I'm done, with whoever I'm with or whatever I'm doing. Oh man, she might have been a keeper, Mike. She sounds serious. No, you can't be my moderator, dude. So listen, it's 9 o'clock. I gotta go to the store, guys. Do you want me to do another live tonight, maybe? I don't know. I might pick up like a beer or something. Try to have a drink. Like a little nightcap. What do you guys think? No, I'm not letting anybody moderate. I don't even know anything about it, but I'm not letting anybody moderate my stuff. All right, guys. That answers my question. I gotta go though, and if I have time, I'll fire up another live later. All right. You guys good with that? Oh. All right, I'm out of here. I can't take a shot. I'm going to Walmart, bro. The Walmartians will rip me apart. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.